Well, I did something big last night. Something entirely that I was not expecting to go through. Something that I am a little bit on the blue side of things, but something that I am just looking forward to again and again. Okay, guys, I will spill the news. I went to my first ever ghost ritual here at Columbus at Nationwide Arena. Last night, I am Saj the Boss, and I am a massive fan of Ghost, all things heavy metal, and I just cannot believe I have waited for a couple years now to see these guys. I just got into the band 2 years ago, probably like 4 years ago now. Followed them ever since 2022 when I first started into the band, and I followed the lore and I know everything about these guys, and it just is a game-changing experience. It really feels like you're going to your very first prom in a way, where you're you don't know what to expect, but once you're in there, you feel so magical, but then you feel very emotional after the whole entire event. And surely that's how I felt. I literally felt the same ways, and it just really stuck with you for a long time. So guys, I did end up picking up a tour shirt, which was $54 if you guys are going on the tour. They retail about $50, but they actually have tax included. But they got this beautiful shirt right here with Ghost. You got Papa V as a cowboy, and the back of the shirt is literally, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's hard to film the back of my shirt, but it's pretty much the US map. But I did score a couple of really cool goodies as well on the tour. I did find a couple fans outside the door. They gifted all of us with bracelets. This one's Lacrima. I have a Lacrima, and then I have a Papa Forever, and then I have a... So here's my bracelets I did score at my first ritual. It literally has Lacrima, Cyrus, which is our favorite guitar player, and then I got Father Perpetua Forever, or something like Pat TTT. I'm trying to figure out what that stands for, so leave in the comments what does that one stand for. Well, I have no idea what that stands for, but I love Ghost bracelets. It literally made my night. It feels like I'm part of the Swifties, but I'm also part of the Ghouls now. And it just like my own Taylor Swift concert. I had done my Taylor Swift with Metallica. That's the Metalheadz Taylor Swift 2-day show, but Ghost was almost like our Taylor Swift experience, man. Oh my gosh, this was one of the most magical nights I've ever witnessed. I saw Papa perform all of my favorite songs from start to finish. Even they scored Monstrous Clock, which is my favorite Ghost song. They performed that. They played Year Zero. They played every single one live. They have Lacrima. The encore was Square Hammer. Mummy Dust. It just was beautifully done with the graphics, the stage, the costumes, the lighting. It was a outstanding show through the core. This is also the quietest heavy metal concert I have ever attended in my entire life. Just because this show alone, ladies and gentlemen, has a element of not really good sound mixing. I hate to say that. I've seen Metallica and I've seen a lot of the greats, but these guys are a lot more softer. I know a lot of them are, but they're also very heavy. What I mean softer, I mean the mixing was kind of hard to hear at some moments in the show, even though I heard it a lot. I was singing the whole time, I was cheering. I wanted the drums to be as more engaging as when I saw Metallica, or when I saw Rob Zombie, or when I saw I Prevail. I want those kind of sounding drums. And the drums, they were blended in, but you could hear the guitars more than the drums. And some of the drums elements for me are what makes Ghost, you know, the bass and that. And that's my only gripe. And then they didn't play Pinnacle to the Pit, which I was very disappointed. I love Pinnacle to the Pit. I'm like, we're Pinnacle to the Pit. I thought we were going to go that direction, but they played a lot of the other classics, like He Is and Ritual and all that stuff, but they did not do that. Another thing I want to tell you guys about a little bit about the experience if you guys go to your first ritual, and if you guys go to a ghost show coming up, it's a no phone policy. So there's no phones whatsoever at all. I feel like the kids at school. I'm like, kids, you gotta be kidding me. You guys had to walk around with these lanyards on your whole day carrying your cell phone. That is not safe at all. You had to walk all the way through the other section just to get your phone unlocked, which I never did. I never got up through the entire set. But you have to get that unlocked, and the door policy was weird because the general admission, you have to sandwich your way into one side of the arena to get inside, and then there's a pit entry door, which was not really specified. I thought it was all general admission door access, right? And then they can sort out people where to go from there. Yada, yada, yada. We got in the venue. Little nitpicks there. Merch line was really good, very long, worth it. The beer I had was amazing. But the performance overall, Ghost, 10 out of 10, man. And would I go to another ritual? Heck yeah. I don't know what the future of Ghost is or what they're going to do. But all I know, it's kind of bittersweet when you walk out of a ritual. I kind of got emotional because of not knowing you will ever see Papa V again. And I got to see Papa V. I got to see the Ghouls. I don't know if they're going to do a 2-year break. I don't know if it's going to be another Papa. I don't know what it's going to be the future when they end in California. And despite the weather and all that stuff, they performed to their best. They came from Canada to Columbus and then to Cincy tonight, which is even wilder to think they have 2 shows in Ohio. So I wish I could make it out to that. But overall, my ritual experience was a solid 10 out of 10. It was something I would never forget and something that I will always do when they ever are in town. And they even tease an open air venue such as Kempa Live, which are they going back there for a smaller show? I doubt that. I think they're going to be at Sonic Temple in 2027, and pretty sure I would be there supporting Ghost and whoever other bands will show up there, but it is time for you to make another open air in Columbus experience. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my first ever ritual at Ghost was a solid 10, and it is more than a 20 out of 10. It changed my life. As it did for a lot of people, it did change my life. My only critique was I wish there was a little bit more to Lore and Papa Emeritus, but I think the sound mixing alone was the most crucial thing for me. I love a good sounding band. I had my earplugs on the whole night, but they didn't really do justice as well as I wanted to. And the show ended quickly, ended at 10 p.m., which I was expecting 10 o'clock? That's weird. It's a Monday. 10 o'clock, I thought we'd be out of here at 11:30. But no, 10 p.m., you're out of there. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I want to mention too, they had pyro, which is pyrotechnics, which is fireworks. There's live fire. You can actually feel the heat in the section where I was sitting. It was very cool. I wish I could take pictures of the pyro and things, but I did not have the opportunity to do so. But there was mummy dust and confetti everywhere, and everybody was cosplaying. It really reminds me of going to a Kiss or a Misfits show. It was a really cool opportunity to see everybody cosplay, and I will be dressed up next time I see them. So, as always, I am Saj the Boss, and I survived my first ever ritual here in Columbus. And that being said, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching, and always remember, there's much ahead. Thanks for watching. As always, I am Saj the Boss.